guys, it's Alyssa. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my kitchen. So first off, I just want to start off by saying that I've been MIA for about 6 months now or so. I had some issues with my laptop and then that got pushed on the back burner to worry about that because we just had such a busy first part of 2024. My schedule was just taken over with my kids' stuff, and so I finally had some time to get my laptop figured out and I got that all taken care of. So I'm back and I'm making videos and I'm so excited to be back, and I'm excited to share this new video with you. So in this video, I'll be sharing 4 easy and delicious 20-minute meals. I'm a sucker for a quick meal. I'm sure most of you are, and these meals are so quick, so delicious and flavorful. They're some of my favorites as well as my family's favorites, and I can't wait to share them with you. So with all that said, let's go get started on the video.
So the first recipe we're going to start with is bang bang chicken. This meal is so good, it comes together quickly and the chicken is crispy and covered in the most delicious sauce. So the first thing you're going to want to do is prep your chicken. I like to cut my chicken into bite-sized pieces and then I just add it into a bowl. And once you do that, you're going to season the chicken. I just season the chicken with some salt and pepper and then some garlic powder, onion powder, and smoked paprika. And I just want to point out all of the measurements for all of these recipes in this video will be listed down below in my description box. So after I gave a good toss to the chicken just to make sure it was all coated with the seasonings I added, I went ahead and added my breadcrumbs. So you can do plain or seasoned breadcrumbs here. I'm not really picky about it. I just did plain because it's what I had on hand. So while adding my breadcrumbs, I then realized I forgot to add my egg. So I went ahead and whisked up 1 egg and then I threw it in and I added in some more breadcrumbs and gave it all a good toss. And I just wanted to make sure that the chicken was coated really well with all of those breadcrumbs. So once my chicken was all tossed and ready to go with the breadcrumbs, I then got a sheet pan. As you can see here, I put a rack on top and I placed the chicken on top of that, and then I got the chicken into my oven. And I used an air fryer setting that's on my oven. I set it at 400 and I cooked mine for 12 minutes at first. You can cook yours in the regular oven. You can do 400 degrees, start it at 12 and then go from there. You just want to make sure it's temping at 165 when you check it and it's no longer pink inside. So while my chicken was cooking, I got my sauce ready. I just mixed mayo, some sweet chili sauce, lime, and then I ended up using hot honey, but you can also just use regular honey and mix in some of your favorite hot sauce. I like to add in sriracha when I go that route, but it's totally up to you. And then I just set that sauce aside once I mixed it all together. So once the chicken was all done and out of the oven, I first do want to point out though, before I go on, I did cook my chicken for a little bit longer in my air fryer, a few extra minutes just to make sure it was extra crispy and every piece was cooked all the way through. So once it was all done, I got the cooked chicken into a large bowl and then I poured a good amount of the sauce on top. But I do want to point out, I always reserve a little bit of sauce to drizzle on top when I dish this up. And then I just mixed it up really well, making sure every piece of chicken is coated really well in that sauce. And I like to serve this chicken over rice. You can always make it into a salad, a sandwich, or even a wrap. And then I just top it with some green onion, squeeze some lime on top, and drizzle a little bit more of that sauce. This meal is so good. The next recipe I have to share with you is one of my family's favorite recipes. Comes together so quickly and it's so good, and it's Big Mac sliders. So you're going to start off with some ground beef and you're just going to add in some Worcestershire sauce, and then you're just going to season it up with some salt and pepper, and then I just add in some garlic powder and onion powder and give it all a good mix. And then next I just get my small pan, I covered it in foil and sprayed it really well. And then I'm just pretty much making one large patty here. This is what makes this recipe so easy and come together so quickly, because you don't have to cook each individual patty. You just form one big one and it makes it a breeze. So I get that all pushed down in the pan and make it very even. And then I just pop it in my oven. So my oven is set at 450 and it's been preheating, and then I just cooked the beef for 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna also finish it off at the end under the broiler. While the beef is cooking, you just wanna get started on your Big Mac sauce here. I just mixed together some mayonnaise, mustard, sweet relish, onion powder, garlic powder, and then a splash of vinegar, and then I just added in some salt and pepper. I started mixing it up, and then I realized I forgot a very important ingredient, and that was some smoked paprika. So I just added that in, and then I mixed that all up together, and then I just set it aside. And then next I just diced up some onion, thinly sliced some iceberg lettuce, and then I just got the beef under the broiler once it was done cooking for the 10 minutes. I set my broiler at high, and then I just set it to cook for an additional 4 minutes. And then once that was cooking, I moved on and I sliced my dinner rolls in half, and then I got those placed into my pan. And then I just melted some butter in my microwave. I brushed that on top of the rolls, and then I just sprinkled some sesame seeds on top, kind of just to make a little hamburger bun. And then once I was done with that, I smeared on the Big Mac sauce onto the bottom of the rolls, and then I kind of just started building the burger here before I put it into the oven once again. So when the beef was done, I placed that on top of the Big Mac sauce, and then I placed some American cheese on top, and then I sprinkled the diced onions on top of that, and then I got this into my oven to cook a little bit longer under the broiler. You just want to watch it for a few minutes, just until that cheese is nice and melted and the tops of the buns are a little bit of a golden brown color. And then once they were done, I pulled it out of the oven and I put some dill pickle slices on top. I added my iceberg lettuce, and I got the tops of the buns onto the burgers, and I sliced these up and dished them out with some French fries and a salad that I made. These are the perfect little Big Macs. I think your family will love them just like mine. So the next 20-minute recipe I have to share with you are these delicious creamy chicken mini tostadas. I love these tostadas. I actually make these for lunch a lot of the time for myself because they're so quick and they're healthy and so good, but my family loves them. They're quick and perfect in the summer for a delicious dinner. So I first just get started getting my tortillas in the oven to crisp up. I like to use the mini low-carb tortillas. You can use corn, flour, whichever ones you want to use. You just want to get those in your oven to crisp up for just a few. So once the tortillas were in the oven, I got started on my chicken breast. So I had 2 large chicken breasts, but I know that'll take much longer to cook, so I like to slice my chicken breast in half long ways so it makes a thinner cut, and then I just seasoned them up, and I just seasoned with some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and some smoked paprika, and then I just got some olive oil heated up in my large cast iron skillet, and I added the chicken breast into that to start cooking. Next, we're gonna make the delicious creamy cilantro lime dressing that I tossed this chicken tostada salad mix into. So I just got my Magic Bullet blender, the mini one. You can really use any type of blender. This one's just super easy and quick. So I just got the cup and I filled it with some Greek yogurt. I like to use Greek yogurt because it's a little bit healthier, some added protein. You can use sour cream if you like, all sour cream, because I do add in a little bit of sour cream with the Greek yogurt, and then I add in some juice from 2 limes, some olive oil, some minced garlic, and then I added a handful of cilantro that is cleaned and washed, and then some salt and pepper. So before I got my dressing onto my blender, I went over and made sure to turn my chicken because it was ready to be turned. So you just want to make sure you're cooking your chicken about, I would say 4 or so minutes, depending how big they are, but about 4 or so minutes per side. And you just want to make sure you're getting a temp of 165 when you temp it. And then once I turned my chicken, I got my sauce onto my blender and I blended that all up. And then I moved on to get all of my vegetables cut up. So I got my romaine lettuce cut up and washed, and then I sliced up my tomato, and then I also diced up some avocado. So once my chicken was all the way cooked through, I removed it from the pan and I just set that aside so it can kind of cool off a little bit. And then I moved on to get all of the vegetables added into a large bowl. So I got my cut up lettuce, and then I added my sliced tomato, my cut up avocado. I also added in some black beans as well as some shredded cheddar cheese. You can also add in corn if you'd like here. And then I just topped this with the yummy, delicious dressing. This stuff is so good, this dressing. I could seriously drink this stuff. It's that good. So I always like to have a little bit extra on the side that I drizzle on top because I like to drench my salad in this stuff. It's that good. And then I just diced up the chicken breast once it was cooled off a little bit, and then I also added that chicken into the salad, and then I gave it all a good toss. So to dish this up, it's actually very easy. I just get those toasted tortillas onto a plate, and then I just add a heaping mound of the chicken salad mixture on top. And then I also like to add a slice of avocado onto each one, and then an extra drizzle of that delicious dressing onto each one, as well as some lime. This meal is so good. It's light, refreshing. It's perfect for dinner or lunch. Like I said earlier, you could add it into a wrap and have it that way. I've done that and it's so good. It's perfect, and it's one of my favorite quick meals for the summertime. So the last 20-minute meal I have to share with you is one of my kids' favorite meals, and it's tortellini with sausage and spinach and a creamy lemon sauce. The first thing I make sure to get done with this meal is get a large pot of water onto my burner. I add in salt as well, and I get that heated up so I can get my pasta cooking. And then I get my sausage browning in my pan. Once that's fully cooked through, I set that aside, and then I add in my pasta into the water once it's boiling, and I cook it according to the package. And then next I just diced up some onion, and then I also added in a couple tablespoons of butter into my pan, and it's the same pan I cooked my sausage in. And then once the butter was fully melted, I added in my diced onion, and then I also added in some minced garlic. I let the onion and garlic cook down for just a few until the onion was a little bit translucent, and then I added in my heavy whipping cream, and then I also seasoned it with some salt and pepper. After I season this, I just let this simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes until it kind of reduced down a little bit, and then I added in the zest of a lemon as well as the juice of the lemon, and I mixed that all up. So once my tortellini was done cooking and before I drained it, I got a measuring cup and I just reserved some of the water off to the side here. I just did about a cup. I didn't use all of that. It just all depends on how I guess thin you would want your sauce. I would say about 1/4 cup or so works. And then I just shredded some Parmesan cheese and I added that into my sauce and gave it all a good mix. So once the Parmesan cheese had melted down about a minute or so, I went ahead and added in my fresh spinach. So I like to add this in first. I top the cooked tortellini on top of that, and then I put on the sausage, and then the spinach kind of starts cooking down at this point because all of that heat isn't being released from the tortellini and sausage being on top, and so it kind of helps it cook faster with that spinach. And then I just added in some of that pasta water that I had reserved to start getting this all mixed together. So once that spinach cooks down, which is so quick, this is ready to serve. This meal is so good and so flavorful. I like to top it with some fresh Parmesan cheese on top, serve it with some bread and butter on the side so you can dip it in that sauce. No one will guess that this meal took you about 20 minutes to put together. It's so good, creamy, that lemon flavor from the sauce. I think you'd really enjoy this one.
All right, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're new here, I would love to have you. I post videos all about cooking. I like to share my favorite recipes as well as meal prep. So if you like that kind of content, make sure to subscribe down below and I will be posting some more videos from here on out. All right, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.